Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. We're glad that you're here. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
And together we're Backyard Musings, the Science and Technology channel.
And we are talking about a supplement, food supplement. And we've been talking about those pretty regular lately. So This sounds like it's a good one. We'll see what happens. And anything that can help with our heart and our arteries is a good thing. So let's get into it. So
scientists in Japan say a common supplement may actually help unclog certain diseased heart arteries from the inside out. A simple food supplement sold in Japan may have helped reverse a dangerous form of heart disease that often resists standard treatment, according to researchers at Osaka University. The findings, originally published in the European Heart Journal on December 30th, 2025, continue to attract attention because they describe something rarely seen in cardiology: clogged heart arteries becoming noticeably clearer after a nutritional intervention rather than conventional cholesterol lowering alone. Would you like to know more?
Sounds pretty good so far, right?
Yeah.
Coronary artery disease, or CAD, is one of the world's leading causes of death. In most cases, the condition develops when cholesterol-rich plaque narrows the arteries that supply blood to the heart, increasing the risk of chest pain, heart attack, and heart failure. Okay.
Well, researchers in Japan have spent years studying a lesser known and often overlooked condition called triglyceride deposit cardiomyovasculopathy, TGCV, or let's just call it TGCV.
Yep, I'm good with that.
Unlike classic atherosclerosis, TGCV is driven by the buildup of triglycerides inside cells within the heart and blood vessel walls. The disorder appears to stem from defective intracellular fat breakdown, which allows fatty deposits to accumulate where they should not.
Quote here: almost 15 years ago, we identified a new type of CAD called triglyceride deposit, or TGCV, in which the coronary arteries are occluded by triglyceride deposits generated by defective intercellular breakdown of triglycerides in vascular smooth muscle cells. That's according to lead author Kenichi Hirano. Going on with the quote: this mechanism makes TGCV distinct from classic cholesterol-induced atherosclerosis. I don't know what that is exactly, and accounts for patients who are resistant to standard remedies for CAD, unquote.
Researchers say TGCV appears especially common in people with diabetes, mellitus, and in patients undergoing hemodialysis. Because the condition can resemble conventional coronary artery disease, many cases go undiagnosed. The Osaka University team focused on Tricaprin, a commercially available dietary supplement believed to stimulate fat metabolism in heart muscle cells.
The published report described two patients in their 60s who had diabetes mellitus, severe chest pain, and persistent coronary artery disease that did not respond adequately to existing treatments. After being diagnosed with TGCV, both patients began taking Tricaprin regularly. Within months, their symptoms improved significantly. Okay, well, that's a good sign.
Yeah. More surprisingly, follow-up scans revealed visible changes inside the arteries themselves. Imaging showed reduced triglyceride buildup and widening of previously narrowed blood vessels. Researchers also observed evidence of increased fat breakdown activity within heart tissue.
Okay. Again, a quote: now we report a remarkably regression of diffuse coronary arteriosclerosis. Am I getting that right? Atherosclerosis in two patients with TGCV. That's stated by Hirano. Both had suffered from refractory chest pains and diabetes until diagnosis with TGCV, and subsequent dietary intake of Tricaprin led to symptom relief. Okay.
The researchers emphasized that the improvements occurred without major changes in standard blood lipid measurements, suggesting the supplement may have worked through a different biological pathway than traditional cholesterol-lowering therapies.
Cardiologists have long known that aggressive cholesterol reduction can sometimes slow or partially reverse plaque buildup. However, the Japanese team says this may represent a different mechanism entirely.
Here's a quote: while atherosclerosis regression following decreased serum lipid levels is well described, this is the first reported regression due to increased triglyceride lipolysis within cells, and as such is a conceptually novel treatment for coronary atherosclerosis, said Hirano.
That distinction has drawn scientific interest because it points towards a key strategy for treating patients who do not improve with conventional therapies such as statins, stents, or other interventions aimed primarily at cholesterol. Since the 2023 publication, researchers have continued investigating TGCV and Tricaprin-based therapies. A phase 2A clinical trial in Japan evaluated CNT01 in patients with idiopathic TGCV, reflecting growing interest in whether boosting intracellular fat metabolism could become a viable treatment strategy.
Scientists cautioned that the original report involved only 2 patients, meaning much larger studies are still needed before Tricaprin could become a mainstream therapy for coronary artery disease. Researchers also stressed that people should not replace prescribed cardiac treatments with supplements without medical supervision.
Still, the findings have raised hopes for patients with treatment-resistant forms of heart disease. For some experts, the study highlights how much remains unknown about the different ways artery disease can develop inside the human body.
As scientists continue exploring TGCV, the work from Osaka University suggests that future heart disease treatments may eventually focus not only on cholesterol in the bloodstream, but also on how fat is processed deep inside the cells of the heart itself.
You know, this is interesting because normally Japanese folks are not known for having cardiovascular issues.
Yeah.
And that they would study this there. That's kind of interesting. So, but sounds promising. I wonder why they could only get 2 people involved in this test. So maybe they're the only ones who raise their hand.
They got to start paying more money for these test subjects.
You think they do that?
Maybe. Come on to this study. We'll give you $100.
Yeah.
It's a 52-week study.
Yes. I guess.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you in the afternoon.
Thanks for subscribing and commenting and listening, and we'll talk to you this afternoon. Thanks.